Welcome to TLD Talks, where we share insights about key legal and business matters that are impacting SMEs today. Bringing together experts from a range of backgrounds, we will be tackling the issues that matter to you. I'm Ed Simpson, CEO of The Legal Director, and I'm joined on today's podcast by one of our very experienced client legal directors, William Blumenthal, and David Lomas, the CEO of M3 Media. And we're going to be having a chat about some of the issues facing manufacturing businesses. So, hello, William and David, and thank you for joining me today. For the benefit of listeners, William, could I ask you please to introduce yourself and your practice at TLD?
Yes, thanks, Ed. My name is William Blumenthal, as Ed said. I am a client legal director with The Legal Director. My practice as a general counsel is what I would describe as a generalist. So I specialise, if that's not too contrasting a term, in corporate and commercial matters for my clients. I think every company, large or small, should be able to benefit from a GC, a general counsel. And part of what TLD does is deliver that service to a market which traditionally has not benefited in the past. I do that by acting as a part lawyer, part strategic consultant with my clients at the most senior level.
Thanks, William. And David, could you please introduce yourself and M3 Media?
Certainly. Thank you. I'm CEO at M3 Media Group. We're publishers. We publish a number of sector-focused digital magazines covering business, HR recruitment, property construction, export, marketing, manufacturing, and supply chain, amongst others. We use those magazines as a vehicle to help our clients have impact and give value and credibility to their content.
Thanks, David. So I know that one of the projects that you run is a series of online thought leadership focus groups for the manufacturing industry. Can you tell me where that idea came from?
Okay. As I mentioned before, one of our magazines is Manufacturing Matters. I've always wanted to support the sector. It's an important sector for the UK. And as the publisher of that magazine, I decided to set up and build a programme of discussion groups, which are aimed at bringing together different manufacturers from across the sector in order to really foster learning and growth and encourage collaboration between them, which is very important in manufacturing.
And from your perspective, what value do you see manufacturers getting out of these discussions?
Manufacturers face unique challenges that I believe can be more effectively addressed through shared experiences and insights. By connecting manufacturers with each other, we are seeing collaboration between them, which is wonderful to see. They're getting to meet each other. They're getting to, as I say, share those experiences. So some of them can learn from the way others have dealt with challenges. The general consensus when we talk to the manufacturers that join our groups is that they're getting real value from the discussions that we put on. We bring in industry experts like William, of course. That brings a different perspective to the discussions and also invaluable expertise. And one critical point is the discussion groups are treated by the manufacturers as a trusted place to speak and share ideas. That is very important, certainly to them, and it reflects well that we are successful with these discussion groups.
It sounds like a fantastic initiative, David. Can you give me a few examples of the sort of topics that you've discussed?
Yeah, certainly. We've recently covered the circular economy. We seem to be all the time discussing issues around attracting new people into manufacturing. We've looked at critical issues around acquisitions, for example. And recently we covered the issue of cost against quality. The question being, shouldn't we be providing as manufacturers value for money rather than a race to the bottom on pricing? In that particular discussion, I remember the suggestions and input from William, and the same in several other sessions, have been really invaluable to the group.
Very interesting. I'm sure anybody listening to this will recognise that as not being exclusive to the manufacturing sector, that balance between cost and quality. William, turning to you in your role as a general counsel, how do you help manufacturers achieve that perfect balance between cost and quality, being able to demonstrate value for money?
Yeah, the approach that all my colleagues at TLD take is it's about providing a legal service as an in-house member of the executive team, which gives me a uniquely holistic approach to what a business is doing. It's an end-to-end vision, which means that as legal issues crop up, be they very specific to manufacturers or more generally encountered across all sorts of different industries, you can give contextual advice. You can give advice, and not just advice, but dealing with whatever issue comes up in a way which suits that business, in a way which is uniquely honed to that business, because you know what the business owners are trying to achieve, you know what the issues are that they are encountering. And so it allows very much the delivery of impactful, contextual, and immediate advice.
David, one of the issues that TLD's client legal directors often help their clients with, and I think provide great value to their clients, is around risk management. Is that a topic that you have discussed in your thought leadership groups, and how manufacturing businesses can assess, manage, and mitigate risk?
Certainly, I think it's a constant issue. It's something that manufacturers have to keep looking at. They must proactively assess and mitigate risks in their supply chains, from geopolitical challenges to disruptions caused by natural disaster or pandemics, as we've seen recently. Building resilience through diversification and contingency planning and robust supply relationships is key to ensuring continuity and mitigating potential disruptions. A recent discussion we had, I think the manufacturers were saying we've got to treat our supply chain as partners, not just suppliers. We have to work with them. Again, a legal perspective is critical here.
William, coming back to you on this one, obviously risk management and helping your clients manage their risk is a key part of what you do. What sort of issues do you see that you can help manufacturers with?
Well, one of the keys to building a robust supplier relationship is engendering trust. And one of the ways you engender trust is by making sure that you have a clearly defined set of ground rules. We like to call them terms and conditions, but they're really ground rules for setting the relationship, so that each side, partner, participant, can focus on what it has to do, its own obligations. So whether it's about delivery times, payment terms, dealing with unforeseen events, having a clear framework and a clear understanding of what has to be done when, I think is vital. And the lawyer can help by defining those and making sure that between manufacturer and supplier, and manufacturer and all suppliers, if the manufacturer is able to put in front of a supplier a consistent form of terms, is having a set of rules which works for both parties and cements that trust and cements that relationship between them.
It sounds like a fantastic initiative, David. Do you have thought leadership groups in other areas, or is it just manufacturing?
At the moment, it's just manufacturing. I think there's so much potential with it. I've been approached by the property construction industry as well. But manufacturing is where I'm needed at this moment in time. They need to be talking more. They need to be having these discussions. They need to be sharing experiences. They need support from government as much as anywhere. So I'm firmly committed to manufacturing. I'd be delighted working with yourself to invite any of your manufacturing clients or this this audience of manufacturers that you have to come join in some of our discussion groups.
And if somebody listening to the podcast wanted to do that, they wanted to find out some more and possibly join your discussions, how could they find out more information?
I suppose the easiest place at this moment in time would be to email me, david@m3publishing.co.uk. Even copying support@m3publishing.co.uk would be the best way of reaching us, and we'd happily engage and invite people along.
Fantastic. So just summing up where you see the value of these discussion groups, how would you sum that up?
In what is a rapidly evolving manufacturing landscape, the importance of collaboration, of sharing knowledge, and very importantly, peer learning can't be overstated. And that's the way I would summarise.
Great. Thank you. Well, that brings us to the end of the podcast. Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed our discussion today, you can subscribe to our monthly TLD talks covering a wide range of legal and management topics. You can find the podcast on Apple, Spotify and Google, and the details are also on our website www.thelegaldirector.co.uk, where you will also find William's recent blog on the benefits of a general counsel and how embedding a general counsel in your business can help to establish good foundations for growth, manage risk, and help any business implement its strategy. If you'd like to know more about the wider work of the Legal Director and how a part-time Legal Director can save you time and money, then do please give us a call on 020 3053 8613 or visit our website.